Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is an awesome day. I will be sharing with you my bullet journal migration process to a brand new notebook. I've been using this Maisy Lane Co. dotted journal for the first half of the year and I really enjoyed it. However, the last few pages left are enough for my June monthly spreads. I will miss it, but I will surely store it nicely just like my very first bullet journal as something to look back on and refer to in the future. Anyway, here is what I will be using for the second half of the year. This is the Notebook Therapy Tiki Nara dotted journal. By the time I got my hands into this beautiful notebook, I knew right away that this is what I will be using next. I really love the warm and cozy vibe of the design, and the paper itself met most of what I look for in a journal. So, without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I want to do is write down my bullet keys on the inner cover. At this point, I'm already familiar with all the keys I'm using. But if you're looking for inspirations or you're just starting out with bullet journal, bullet keys are very useful to mark the status of a certain task or event. So I'm following the same layout as the one on my previous journal, but this time I'm drawing a different ornamental vintage key illustration. There is a branch of leaves on top of the bow. That is an element that I'll be incorporating on every spread. What I like about these bullet keys are they are very easy to remember. Moving on to the very first page of this notebook, which is also the most exciting part on using a brand new notebook, is writing my name. I will be sticking with this very simple handwriting font. Alright, the next one I will be doing is the 2021 cover page. Another design element I will be incorporating for the rest of the spreads are abstract shapes using gouache paints. The reason I wanted to use gouache is because I have some leftover paints from my previous gouache painting video, so I thought it would be great to use them here. By the way, if you are interested on a specific product I'm using, I'm leaving all the supplies and links along with my discount codes for you on the video description. For the colors, I'm using warm and inviting earthy tones to match the look and vibe of the notebook. And then with my Sakura Pigma Micron, I'm writing 2021 in the same outlined font, except that they are spaced out now and written in 2 lines. One of my biggest pet peeves while journaling is the fact that I have sweaty palms. So if you've been a follower, you'll notice that this is the first time I used gouache on my journal, and having sweaty palms causes the pages to wrinkle, and worst is getting inks and paints transferred to some areas of the page. So here you'll see me putting a tissue paper underneath my hand to prevent that from happening. Anyway, I added this branch of leaves on top of the abstract shape, and then on the space to the left I wrote "in progress" as well as 3 small round shapes as a symbol for continuation. Onto the left page is my quote page with a new quote saying, "Keep doing you." As mentioned by writer Carol, the creator of the bullet journal system, while bullet journal will always favor the why over the what, they also highlight how creative the bullet journal community is, and that is what I love about the system. You can always use it how you want, but remember to not compromise its purpose. Moving on to my future log. So since I have only July till December, those are the months I'll be including here. I'm keeping the same layout as before. The only thing new here is the font and the background of each month. As you have seen on my little flip through a while ago, each month has a beige or peachy watercolor backgrounds with square borders. This time they're going to be abstract shapes as well inside an invisible box, if I may call it. I don't know how to explain that, but they're gonna look like as if the shapes are cropped, if that makes sense. So I'm using washi tapes to form two corners, then I'll paint different pairs of shades. I will write the months on a lowercase serif font, then the mini calendar for each below the corresponding month. I totally love how my future log looks this time. I just love the warm colors. Also, my birth month is September and my birthday falls on autumn season, which is my favorite season, although I haven't experienced it yet. It's one of the reasons why I picked this particular notebook, as it's also inspired by autumn. And oh, I did a review of this notebook. If you're interested to know more about it, I will link it as well on the video description. So that is my future log. It's super easy and simple. The next spread I'll be moving over is my goal spread. I started out by painting two abstract shapes for the title background. I also did the ones for the page next to it, so I don't have to wait for it to dry by the time I get there. Then I'm writing goals and a little branch of leaves underneath. I have goals written on this particular spread on my previous journal at the beginning of the year, so now I'm dividing this page into two sections, which are the goals to keep and new ones for each aspect: my personal goals, creative goals, and career goals. I have some that I got to achieve already, but I still have more on the list and maybe a few more along the way. Next page is my wants and needs, which is the easiest and simplest spread I did. And making again here, I just wrote the titles and a branch of leaves and a line on the middle. The following spread I'm moving over is the bucket list. I have so many objectives in mind, but haven't really wrote all of them down. I have fulfilled one or two at this point, but no stress at all. I hope to fulfill, if not everything, but most of it in the future. So previously, I did 21 brush strokes for 21 objectives. This time, I'm making 21 boxes and a long branch of leaves in the middle, wherein each leaf is pointed towards each box. Then at the bottom are just 3 small round shapes instead of writing 2021 like I did before. On the other half of the spread is my savings page, following the same layout where the categories are listed horizontally and the months vertically. I have quite a few things I want to save money for, but to be honest, I haven't really able to keep something for every category for each month. For example, for the month of February, I get to save something for my family, but the remaining categories have none. And that's the reality being a small full-time YouTuber. But I don't have regrets on choosing this path because I'm happy doing what I'm doing now. So I'm hoping someday it'll pay off, so I'll get to save for everything I wanted to save for. So the same thing goes here. I'm just making boxes for each category for every month, then 2 long lines at the bottom to sum everything up. Alright, next is my growth page for my YouTube and Instagram handles. So I've been tracking my subscriber and follower count for both using these simple line graphs with the target count on the x-axis and the months on the y-axis. And this particular page is the one that I had to change the numbers and cover them up, especially for YouTube, on my previous journal, because I honestly never thought that it would surpass my goal of around 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Some call it a wonderful mistake, which I was very happy to fix. I'm so thankful to all of you here for the support, and I really appreciate you guys. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post close-ups of my spreads and new ones that I'm not able to share here. And if you're interested to see how they look like, I also post after pen photos, so I hope you will check it out as well. The final page I'm setting up here is my YouTube content page, where I write all of the content that I put out there. I'm using this Tombow brush pen in cappuccino shade for the background of the months, and I'm allotting 4 spaces vertically for each month. And just so I thought I'll get to finish this setup without any mistakes, and there it is. I miscounted it. So I had to cut a piece of paper from the last page of this notebook and glued it right there to cover it up. I'm internally screaming at this moment, but it already happened. Anyway, if you have video ideas that you want to see from me, please let me know in the comments. I also did a themes of 2021 spread on my previous journal, but I thought it would be fun to create that on a separate video, so let's make it together by the end of the year. So here is my final flip through of my second half of 2021 bullet journal. I really love the setup. It looks different from my 2021 bullet journal setup from the beginning of the year, but I still managed to keep the layouts consistent. I am very excited to use them and the rest of this notebook. I hope you enjoyed this mid-year bullet journal setup video. Don't forget to like and share it for those in need of inspirations. If you'd like to see more bullet journal stuff, please consider subscribing, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!